Wherever you are watching this virtual spice world. I'm Richard Jalichandra, the Global General Manager of Spiceworks of Davis, and I cannot tell you how psyched I am for this fireside chat with one of my all-time idols. Let's all give a warm and spicy welcome to Steve Wozniak, the Woz. If you were starting Apple all over again, with the knowledge that you have now, what would you change?
I'd rob a bank. Then I'd have, rather than having $0 in a savings account, I could afford a keyboard that had lowercase characters, a few more little nice improvements. And that's it. I don't really look back and say, oh my gosh, I could have done something better, because then you're saying what I did wasn't good enough. No, it was as good as my mind was working and thinking, and was as good as I could have done at that time, made the right decisions. The Apple II was the first time ever that arcade games were software. And then we discovered that with the spreadsheet, small businessmen buy an Apple IIs, our sales multiplied by 10. They buy an Apple II computer and extra boards to have more months in a spreadsheet and more months displayed on the screen. It's got to work for me. It's got to be understandable. Elegant simplicity was a phrase he used, which means form follows function. And that just turned out to be usable by so many.
Is there a correlation between being a creative prankster and a good engineer or a successful business person?
There is a correlation between humor, creativity. Pranks is a type of humor that you made yourself. You had an idea, but sometimes you put it into reality and actually implement it, or just say something funny and people get confused and it's funny to you. So humor is a good thing to be after, and inventors. There's engineers that know how to crank the wheel and create things when given an assignment, but the inventor has an inspiration, a mind that wants to travel and make up new things, and that's creativity, things that didn't exist before. I wonder if it'll work. So I had a teacher once, and I can't remember if it was high school or college, and the teacher actually said that humor is very much like creativity, because in humor, you tell a line, a setup line, and it goes on a certain path, and your mind can see where that path is going. And then all of a sudden there's a punchline, and you say, oh, there was a different path, and that makes it funny, makes it humorous, but it's the different path is the out of the box, think different. That's the creativity element. So I've always associated the two together, and I always try to be a little joke maker and prank maker. And my next book will be my book on pranks, but it'll destroy my reputation, I'm sure.
How can technical people get a little bit more creative, open-minded, and how will this help them?
I call it writing the book yourself. You don't need somebody telling you how to do something, how to design something, and every trick you learn advances you. It's not like normal failures. It's not worth money. It's not worth a big deal, but it teaches your brain that trick, and you might re-employ it later on. But the more important thing is to be able to come up with a trick. Look at a project. I got to build this little machine that controls some tape recorders here and there, and I need these signals and these signals, but I want to come up with an elegant design, not just one I've learned in engineering courses. And so the best things I ever designed were because I didn't have money and had to make them very inexpensive, and because I didn't know how to do it, had no experience. Floppy disk is a good example. It worked so hard to come up with weird schemes. I didn't know how it was done, didn't have any books to go to see how do you operate with disks, and came up with this incredible thing that took 20 chips out of a SWZD disk drive, and then came only 8 little chips of our own to control this incredible software, hardware mix using a computer the right way. I was so proud of that, and really it came from, if I'd known how to design a controller, I would have done it like everyone else, and that's what I would have done. But no, starting from scratch, I call it writing the book. You don't read a book to get the solution, because a million people read the book and a million people are doing the same thing. You want to think different, you come up with your own thinking.